if you're a coach trying to attract more clients, the worst thing you want to do is attract people who don't have money to pay for your coaching services, because you're just going to waste your time with them. They're not going to buy, or if they do, they're going to get terrible results because they're just not the right type of buyer. And it's one of the most frustrating things coaches experience is, why do I keep attracting broke people who can't afford my coaching services? So what I want to do today is talk to you about 3 things that you can avoid doing that will in turn help you get qualified coaching clients who can afford and want and are excited about investing in your most expensive coaching packages or allowing you to increase your prices, okay? So what happens with a lot of coaches is they just try a whole bunch of things and then just don't get anybody. So I'm going to explain to you there's 3 things you need to stop doing. The first thing you need to stop doing is stop focusing on organic, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what a lot of coaches do is they focus on free social media traffic as their main source because, well, quite frankly, it's free, right? And so they'll post in Facebook groups, maybe create a Facebook group. They'll private message all kinds of people on Facebook or Instagram. LinkedIn, they'll just connect and connect and connect and do that kind of stuff and various things like that. And what happens is it's very hard to control your quality of people coming back to you because when you're just posting content and stuff like that, you don't really have control over who's going to follow you. Like, for example, I have a business page that went viral in the Philippines a number of years ago. Like tens of thousands of followers I got from the Philippines, which, I mean, it's great that you get lots of followers, but I mean, that's not my target country, not even remotely, right? And so what happens is when you focus on organic, you can't control what's coming back to you. And so it makes it really hard to get qualified people, because if you put a video on TikTok, gets a bunch of views, you don't know if they're qualified, all that kind of stuff. You might be like, well, you're posting on YouTube. Yeah, I spent in the last 3 years about 2.8 million on Facebook ads, and I teach what we're learning from Facebook ads to get coaching clients here on YouTube for free. So it's not my primary way to get clients, not even remotely. So it's a lot of it's to do with people who watch my stuff come from Facebook ads, gives them to watch more training on YouTube here. But so that's why I do that. So what I would do instead is I would be focusing on the number one way, in my opinion, to get qualified people, which is Facebook ads, because we can target them. We can use income targeting. So for example, you can target the top 5% of your most qualified people in the targeting most top percent of household income on Facebook. You can go deep on all that kind of stuff, and then you can just bring them to you, okay? It's way easier, it's faster, and it's very controlled. So you want to get people coming to you who are qualified versus just hoping, right? Number 2, stop trying to help everyone. So coaches are generally empathetic, they want to help people, and they have a large toolbox of skills that they can help people with. You take somebody who's like a mindset coach or something like that, a life coach, mindset coaches help people with like tons of different things. And they don't want to leave anybody out. They're like, I can't narrow by my focus because I have so many different skill sets that if I narrow it too much, I'm gonna, like, what if I'm, narrow it to only helping people who are struggling to find their purpose in life, but yet I got all these other people out there who are dealing with procrastination and maybe, NLP stuff and mindset. I just like, I can't, I gotta go broad. And so what's happening is the broader you go, the more watered down it is, and the more it attracts unqualified people. Because it's just, you're just going to get a lot of people who are just interested versus committed. They're like, oh, this is interesting. Sure, sounds good. And it's going to play into number 3 in a minute here. But you want to go as deep as humanly possible. You want to be the niche within a niche within a niche. I mean, that's great. You can help people with 40 different problems. It's awesome, right? Like, congratulations. But the problem is the human brain doesn't see that. And the problem is what happens is if you try and reach somebody and then they see you can help with all these other things, they're like, well, I don't have all those other issues. I just have this issue. So maybe I got to find somebody who specializes in that one thing. It's like going to a restaurant, in some towns, small towns or older areas of towns, there's like the restaurant that has Chinese food, pizza, and barbecue, and this is all there, Mexican, all under one roof, right? And it's like kind of scary in a lot of ways. You're like, oh, you're kind of like trying to do everything. And then because if you want good Chinese food, you're going to go find that specialty Chinese place. Or if you want good barbecue, you're going to find that specialized barbecue place. You're not going to go to some restaurant that does it all, like sort of like a buffet where it's like everything's sort of average, okay? So you got to be careful about that, because qualified people who want help are looking for a specialist, not a generalist, all right? Now, the third thing we want to do to avoid attracting broke clients or coaching prospects is the most important thing. Before we get to that, I need you to do two things. First of all, hit the like button so I know you like this video so I can create more of them. Second of all, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because if you hit the subscribe button, what that's going to do is that's going to help you get more of these videos. I'm constantly creating videos, and again, it's all based on facts. Since about 2021, we've spent about 2.8 million and growing on Facebook ads to get coaching clients. So I take what I'm learning over there and I share it with you here for free. What's working, what's not working, everything that, things you need to know in order to get clients and avoid and stuff like that. It doesn't cost you anything. But if you don't subscribe, chances are you'll miss a video that could have been the best video you needed at the exact time to help get you more clients. So don't miss out on all these free videos that I have for you. So hit the subscribe button. All right, number 3, we need to repel by calling out. What does that mean? So one of the things amateur coaches will do is they will basically say who they don't want clicking on their stuff or registering. Let's say you got a registration page. People will say, if you're this type of person, this is not for you. That type of thing. Well, when you put that on a registration page for a webinar or an ebook or some lead magnet that you have that you're trying to detract people, well, what's actually going to happen is just going to make them mad. And they're just going to register in spite of you and be like, no, I'm going to register for this thing. So you have to be careful by calling out people to not register or to not do your stuff. And how you do it is by repelling them. Okay, so you can do this on your ads, you can do this on your website, on your registration page, if you have a webinar, all the way through your funnel. You call out the exact person you're trying to reach and use language that would repel the opposite. So what that means is, let's say you want to work with people who are busy professional 6-figure earners. So what you're going to have, it's going to be in your messaging everywhere. Are you a busy professional 6-figure earner working 55 to 60 plus hours a week type thing? And then what that's going to do is you're essentially calling out who you want to reach. And then somebody who's like unemployed be like, I'm not working 65 hours a week. That's not me. And so they're not going to click on it. But if you put on there, on your registration page for something, you're like, hey, this is not for you if you don't have a 6-figure career. You're going to get people saying, well, I would like a 6-figure career. Maybe this will be for me. And it's just going to attract the wrong people through your messaging. And so your ads aren't going to work. It's still going to attract the wrong people, the broke people, on and on and on and on. So we want to avoid that. All right? So these are the 3 things you need to hook into all your stuff. And it really helps us to avoid attracting broke coaching clients. Now, what I want you to do next is I have an upcoming webinar called the 300-word Facebook ad method and snowball system on how we've been able to use it to build a 6-figure per month plus coaching business using a simple ad strategy on Facebook. Now, I want you to click in the pinned post or in the description to get over and register for that webinar where you're going to discover all the secrets that I've learned investing, millions into ads into coaching space, what's working now, why Facebook, in my opinion, is by far the best traffic source to get coaching clients, that because of the artificial intelligence. It's so advanced now that it's easier than it's ever been, in my experience, to get coaching clients, because they help find them for you like never before. So I'm going to explain all that to you in the webinar, why it's easier, simpler, especially if you don't like technology and you don't want to be a marketer, okay? So hit the link in the description or in the pinned post and head over and get registered for that webinar, and we'll see you there.